Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. A quick news update for you guys on Ahsoka arriving on Disney Plus early, because Disney has announced that it's actually going to be arriving about 6 hours earlier than we get with a normal Disney Plus release. Now, if you're unaware so far, so shows generally will get uploaded onto Disney Plus globally all at the same time at around about midnight Pacific time, which is about 3 o'clock in the morning in New York. Here in the UK, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. So with Ahsoka, what they're actually going to be doing is they're going to be pulling it forward about 6 hours, and it's going to be releasing at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. on Eastern time. So that means here in the UK, it'll be about 2 o'clock in the morning. So what this big thing really is now it's actually shifted to a Tuesday in the US and obviously in Latin America and in Canada as well. But what this now means is that this show is now going out at prime time slot. So it means now that if you're a subscriber in the US and Canada, etc., you're going to be able to tune in the evening and watch it on Tuesday night. So this is going to be a big thing for a couple of big reasons. First off, get the social media buzz going. There's going to be a lot of talk about the show, and unfortunately if you're an international subscriber, you're just going to have to try and kind of weasel out of not watching it like that. But also it's going to mean now that there's going to be more of a buzz, hopefully they get more viewers, and it's ultimately a good thing for Disney Plus, I think, as a whole, to do this for its major titles. Now, I don't think they're going to be doing this for every release, because that's just not going to work. But the big key thing is will Disney Plus be able to handle the actual launch of this? Because they've not done this before. And we have seen problems in the past with like WandaVision when that was really popular of people coming in. But this was a major reason why Disney Plus updated at midnight Pacific time, was when less people were watching it. So therefore the system could get uploaded. They weren't going to have any major problems with the crashing. And also the viewership would then be stretched out over time, so therefore the servers would be able to manage it. So this one's going to be a big test, so we're going to obviously have to see how this goes. Yeah, it could be messy, it might work. I mean, I would hope after 3-4 years of Disney Plus running, they would be in a better situation to be able to handle this stuff. I hope they do. But at the same time, there is that whole issue as well of, yeah, can it handle it? I think it's good for the US audience, I think, and for Canada, and just to try and get more people into these shows. Especially, they don't have to do it for everything, but just like the one big release of the week, to get that out there kind of falls in line with what we used to see with Game of Thrones, where it would launch at that time of night. So it'll hopefully get some more viewers. If it doesn't work, they will kind of go back. If the servers are struggling, they'll end up going back to what they were doing. Ultimately, for us internationally, outside of the Americas, that does mean we're still getting it on the Wednesday because of time zones and all the rest of it. It's just going to be available much earlier. So, like I said, in the UK, it's going to be about 2 o'clock in the morning. So it does mean, for us in Europe, we're going to have to do the avoiding spoilers situation first thing in the morning. But at the same time, I did kind of figure this the other way around. Of like, well, if I'm up at like 6-7 o'clock, because I usually am with my dogs and stuff, they tend to like getting out that early. You know, sometimes I'm just sat there, you know, waiting for 8 o'clock to do it. Now I can actually just get on and watch these episodes. This week I'm all right because I've already seen them, and they're really good. But yeah, so that in some ways means I can actually watch it beforehand. Like in Australia now, that means it's going to be dropping in the morning rather than in the evening. I don't think it's a major issue in some ways, because so many other shows do this. Succession recently kind of launched around the same kind of time. Just watch it when you wake up, you record it. The only trick is you've got to kind of avoid social media, and that's always an issue with this kind of thing. But again, it's something we see with so many other shows and things. I'm used to it, like with sports, like with like NFL games, and with obviously with wrestling as well. You know, you'd wake up in the morning, you go on social media, you get all the results. So sometimes I'd avoid going on social media and watch it. So I'm going to be having to do this kind of, I think, something similar with Ahsoka, or just maybe getting up and watching it to make sure I don't get spoiled. I don't think this is a huge issue for Disney Plus subscribers, because ultimately in the US, they've been having to deal with the same problem that the rest of us have been having for a while. It's not going to fit everyone. No matter when they put their show up, it's going to be inconvenient for somebody in somewhere in some country, you know, with someone working. You can't please everyone. So, but I'm hoping that more people will watch Ahsoka with the time shift, and I think that's definitely a key thing going forward on that one. But yeah, we are just going to have to wait and see. I think it's for the good. It might not be as good for some countries as it is for others, but there's a whole other issue, and this is something that's maybe more specific to me. It's a little bit more complicated in terms of like, there's a new episode of Ahsoka out on Tuesday, but it's also on Wednesday in some other countries. So you know, they're going to have that kind of weird thing of like, when is it actually out? The marketing It seems like a very last minute decision because they literally were putting out trailers and posters with the dates on, and then suddenly, well, actually, no, that date isn't there. But I don't think that matters too much because then when people do go in, if they did see that date, it would be there ready for them. But that's just a whole other little issue. But I think this is a good thing for Disney Plus to kind of do this, especially for its main shows. But let me know, do you agree with this? Do you think it's a better time for it to drop at prime time at US time? Because I'll be honest, 8 o'clock in the morning UK time isn't really a good time either. So it's always a little bit of a pain. But let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Go check us out over at what's on at disneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. And on that note, guys, thank you very much. See you guys soon. Laters.